Having them in our phone is nice, but having them in view every day is even better. Hi everyone, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. Stay tuned and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Welcome to my channel, friends. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for choosing to spend a portion of your day with me. I know that you have viewing options. You could be doing so much more, but you are here with me right now today, and I appreciate it. Our mobile phones are wonderful. We're literally walking around with a computer in our hands. With this device, we have access to so much. Because of the convenience of this little device, we've gotten away from the history of taking photographs and having them developed and having them out to look at. Well, today we're going to do something for the old school folks, those like me who like to have a picture out. I have a lot of pictures stored in my phone, especially of my grandchildren. I also have a few of those pictures that I have printed and I have them out for display. So I'm going to show you something really cute that we are going to make so that if you want to display a photograph, or if you want to give someone the gift of a photograph, this trifold frame is going to be perfect for that. If you know someone, especially an older person or a person that might be confined to home or might be in a rehabilitation center or a nursing home, something like this is definitely welcomed. It is an instant pick-me-up to see some photographs that remind you of a particular person, place, or time. We're going to be making the cutest little trifold frames, and I think that you are going to enjoy this. So I'm going to flip to my overhead camera to give you a closer look. But y'all know what time it is. It's time to make it. All right, so here's what I'm talking about. When finished, these are going to measure 4.5 by 6, and they will be 1 1/2 inch deep. Plenty of room for us to be able to display some photographs. Let's say there's a favorite occasion that you shared with someone and you have some ticket stubs or some other memorabilia that you want to just display. This is going to be great for that. Y'all, these are truly long-lasting. These are truly meant to be set out and looked at. This is how I've chosen to decorate mine. So I have a pocket, then a little saying here, and then a place for a photograph here. But you don't have to do it the way that I'm doing it. You can make yours 1, 2, 3 frames going all the way across, so you can add 2 frames. It's completely up to you. But I think that you are going to enjoy making this project. Here is how we make it. So what I have here are the papers that I'll be using to make the project. And I'm using papers from the Blue Meadow collection that I got from Michael's. Y'all, I love this paper pad. I think I've used almost every page in the other one, and I'm working on a second one now. So I went ahead and cut out 2 of the frames because we will cut those out. I have a piece of 8.5 by 11 that we will be cutting down. This is just white cardstock. I don't need the whole 8.5 by 11, but I'm starting with whole sheets, and then I'll show you how I'm cutting these. So I have 2 sheets of 12 by 12 that are identical, but you don't have to have identical papers if you don't want. You can even use rolled paper, sheet paper for this, contact paper, whatever you have, because I will be joining these together to get a larger piece. Then I have a piece of 12 by 12, and I'll be using this for the inside liner. We will be cutting it as well. And then I want to share with you an idea of how you can use a sheet such as this one, where you have all of these different graphics going across. It can be a little bit confusing to the eye, but I want to show you another way that you can use these. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut the chipboard so that we can make the jacket. Now I'm going to be swapping out my blade because to cut my chipboard, I like to use one of my old blades that is pretty dull, and I'm going to place that on because it will allow me to do a kiss cut on this chipboard. So I want to cut this at 6 inches. So I'll make a couple of passes so that I can go through and cut at 6 inches. Then I can do this because I have that cut. It's now easy for me to take my finger blade, go in and finish the cut. So that is how I cut 1 or 2 pieces of chipboard when that's all that I need for the project. So now let's go ahead and cut out 2 pieces that are 4 1/2. And then I'll have this left over, and we're going to cut out 2 pieces from that are 1 1/2. So I have cut 2 pieces on here that are 4 1/2, and then I have a cut 1 1/2, 1 1/2. Now I need 1 more piece of 4 1/2 by 6. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut that out. And if you hear my heater going in the background, I apologize, but y'all know what? It's cold and I have got to have some heat. So I have my heater going. Now, while I have all of these still together, I'm going to go ahead and just add my tape. And I'm going to tape the back of this. And for those of you who are new to paper crafting, I am using a double stick tape. So there is tape on both sides. So I'm placing this down. Then when I'm ready to work with it, there's a backer sheet. I'll peel that away to expose more tape. So let's just go ahead and tape our sheet. And recently I had a Zoom with some of the members of my monthly members group as well as my Patreon. And this is the project that we made in that crafty Zoom. So I thought that I would share the project with you guys as well. So here are my pieces of chipboard. Now I can just go back and cut through. By taping it the way that I just did, it saves me time from having to tape each piece individually. I'm using tape, but if you want to use glue, you can give that a try. So now we have all of our pieces. We have 4 1/2 by 6 and 1 1/2 by 6. And what we have 2 of these, and we have 3 of these. So we have that done. Let's go ahead and cut our paper so that we can join it together to cover the jacket. So this is going to be my jacket piece. I am going to need 2 pieces that are cut at 8. And I'll keep 1 at 8 by 12. And then I'm going to cut 1 at 8 by 8. We have 1 piece at 8 by 12 and 1 piece at 8 by 8. I am going to take my 1/2 inch tape and we're going to place it down. For those of you who are new, remember anytime I'm referring to my tape, I am referring to a double-sided tape. So let's go ahead and get that stuck there. And I placed it on the 8-inch side. We will peel away. Let's take this piece. Let's put it down like this. Let's get it nice and stuck. So now let's take our chipboard pieces and we'll be placing them down like this. So 4 1/2 spine, 4 1/2 spine, 4 1/2 right there. So what I'm going to do to make sure that this seam is not on the edge, I'm just going to slide this piece over just a little bit, and my seam now is going to fall right through the middle of this one. So I will take this piece, peel away the tape backers, And I'm going to put this piece right here. Now I can peel away my tape backers and we can place our pieces. So let's take this piece, let's put it down with about 1/8 of an inch in spacing in between. If you have the 5-in-1 tool, that is a perfect tool to use to help you get your spacing the way that you need it. So there are those three. I'm just going to turn this around and work on this from this side because it's just easier for me to do when I'm placing my pieces. I'm right-handed, so maybe that has something to do with it's easier for me to work from the right side of my paper. So I'm just going to place this piece down with about 1/8 of an inch in spacing. And we will place this piece down with about 1/8 of an inch in spacing in between the two pieces. So let's go ahead and put that down. I'm going to take my finger blade and just remove some of this because we don't need all of it. Now I can flip over and make sure that I have everything nice and stuck. I am going to take my stylus and I am going to press it against the chipboard and then press it into the paper to get a score. And I'll go all the way across and I'm going to pay particular attention to my seam, because if I'm going to experience any cracking with a paper of this thickness, it'll probably happen at that seam point. So I am just going to go across and do this. Now this won't eliminate the cracking, but it might help to break up the fibers enough so that we don't have horrible cracking. So I am just going to go here on the inside like this. Now I can stand this up and train my paper to fold over. I'm just basically giving it a little dance and do it here and here. Now I'm going to take my finger blade and we will miter the 4 corners. And here are my corners here. So I'll cut in this way and I'll cut in this way. Again, if you have that 5-in-1 tool, and I will have it linked in the description box, if you have that, it's going to really help you if you struggle with mitering your corners. So I am going to cut here. And I'll also have the video where I demoed the 5-in-1 tool. I'll have that linked in the description box as well. So now I'm going to take my tape and I am going to add tape to my flaps here. And I can use my tape runner here because these pieces will be sandwiched between the chipboard as well as the liner piece. So let's stand up and fold over. Let's fold over here as well. Now I'm going to get this nice and stuck. Get this nice and stuck. Then when I get ready to fold over here, I am going to pinch where that seam is. I can already see some cracking starting to happen. So I am just going to pinch at the seam. Go ahead and get that stuck. And then I'll keep pinching the seam and we'll go ahead and get this stuck. Now you can see that I have some very light cracking there. It's not enough to really mess with the project, but what I am going to do to stop any additional cracking is I am just going to take some glue and I'm going to dab some glue on so that that glue will basically pretty much settle those fibers. So let's just go ahead and get that nice and stuck. Let's do the same thing on this side. Pinch at the seam and fold over. Again, I have some cracking. I am just going to take my glue, put that glue on that cracking, and it'll pretty much take care of that for me. So let's just get everything nice and stuck. And I'm just going back and making sure that in these spine joints, my paper is sticking to the paper in between. So we have this piece here. We're going to bring in this piece so that we can do the inside liner. We know that this is 6 inches long, so I am going to trim this to 5 3/4 by 12 because I reduce by 1/4 of an inch when I'm placing an inside liner. So we're going to go ahead and cut 5 3/4 by 12, and we're going to cut that twice, even though we don't need 2 pieces of 5 3/4 by 12. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this at 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. So what I have for the inside liner is one piece that is 5 3/4 by 12 and one piece that is 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. So what I'm going to do with both of these pieces is I am actually going to take the tape and I am going to add the tape to my pieces. And I am going to completely cover the backs of both pieces with tape, and I will be right back. Alright, so I have added the tape. We're going to peel away all of our tape backers, and we will place our inside liner to this jacket. So I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to put it in like this. Then I'll take this piece, peel away the tape backer. This piece is 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. So I'm going to peel away that tape backer. We're going to take this piece and we're going to place it down like this. So now I can bring in my big old spatula, get everything nice and stuck. Then I'll work my spines. We'll go inside with the curved portion of that big old spatula to make sure those spines are nice, tight, and crisp. Then I'll turn it around and work my spine from this side. And there we have our jacket front and back. Now I'm going to take my big old spatula and just go across the top to square everything. Like this. Y'all, isn't that pretty already? It's oh so simple, but oh so pretty. So I am going to go ahead and just cut out my frame, and all I'm doing is going around and cutting out this frame. I'm not going to do too much in the way of adding decorations. I want to keep this really simple. This isn't anything that you have to do. You can do yours completely different from this, but I think that this is just a great pick-me-up for someone, or it's just a great little gift for someone. And if you're doing a spring craft fair, try adding a few of these to your craft fair table and see how they do. Just make sure you let people know what they're for. Because, y'all, we need to bring back pictures. We need to bring them back. We need to start printing them. We need to start displaying them. So I'm going to take this piece and we're going to put it right there. So I'm just going to take a little bit of tape, add some tape to the back. Gonna wiggle, wiggle, wiggle around the shape of this. Then I can take this, let's find out where that center is, and we're going to put that right there. Just easy peasy. So now we're going to take this and we're just going to cut out the background mat for the photo. So I'm going to cut out a piece that is 4 1/8 by 5 1/4. Save this because we're going to use it in a minute to make a pocket. Then I am going to cut out this piece of white that will be 3 7/8 by 5. So we're going to take this and we're going to mount it to this piece. And I'm going to do that using my tape. So let's add some tape to the back. Now let's take this piece and just try to center it like that. Take some more tape, add it to this back. We will take this piece and we'll place it over here. Like I said, you can add 3 frames. Just make 3 of these same matted frames to go across, and then you can decorate that as well. So already it's starting to look really, really cute. So we're going to take this large leftover piece, and it's going to be 7 7/8 by 12. So on the 7 7/8 inch side, we're going to score at 1/2 inch, at 1, at 1 1/2, and at 2. Then we're going to rotate it to the opposite 7 7/8 inch side and do the same thing. Score at 1/2 inch, at 1, at 1 1/2, and at 2. Then we'll turn it to the 12 inch side. We're going to score at 5 and at 10 1/8. Then we're going to take it and go to the inside score mark here and fold like this. So you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 score marks. Fold on that 4th one. Same thing over here. Fold on that 4th one. Then we're going to fold on the 5 score mark, and then on the 10 1/8 inch score mark. So now what we're going to do is going to be very similar to how we do an envelope. So basically we're going to get rid of all of this and all of this. So we're going to cut that out completely, and we're going to do that by going in right here, and this is where we will start to cut. So I've zoomed in so that you can see this. Basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to go to that little dot I made, and I'm going to angle up slightly. Then I'm going to cut straight down on that score mark. To remove that piece, let's cut straight down on this one to remove this piece, and we'll angle as we cut up this way. Then we're going to do the same thing here. Let's angle in slightly here, and then we'll cut straight here. So let's cut straight, and then we angle. So we have removed those 4 pieces. So this is what your piece is going to look like right now. So I'm going to bring in my oval punch because I want to punch a little finger notch. And when you make that notch, don't go down too far because this flap needs to fold over. So now you're going to have these flaps here, and they will have score marks on them. So we're going to do accordion folding. So we're going to take this, fold it in like this, then on that next score mark, bend it backwards like that. Then on the next score mark, fold it over, and then bend backwards. That's all you do. So again, we're going to fold in on this score mark, bend back on this score mark, fold in, and then fold out. So I am going to grab my big old spatula so I can tighten up these accordion folds. And all we're going to do is fold up and fold over. So if you notice that a portion of the accordion fold is sticking out, all I'm going to do, y'all, is I am just going to go in with my scissors and trim away a little bit. That's all you need to do. And then let's do that over here as well, just a little bit. So now when I fold over and fold up, you don't see that accordion. We're just going to take our glue. We're going to place our glue on this piece and this piece. So I'm just going to take my finger, smooth that a little bit. Now I'll take this and just fold down and start bending over, and I'll do the same thing here. And let's just get that nice and stuck. So now I'm going to take my scissors and just round my ends like that. And we'll take this and we're going to glue it right here. So I am going to add some glue, going around like this. I'm not going to cover the whole thing in glue because you might want to put something behind it. So we'll just create a little hidden pocket. Let's put this piece down. Get it nice and stuck. I'm going to go on the inside and make sure that that is stuck. So now what we have here, y'all, is a nice accordion pocket, very flexible, easy to put something in and easy to remove. So I am just going to take one of my little Velcro dots. Get these from the Dollar Tree. They work very well. I'm going to take this, place it right there, remove that backer, take it, fold it over, and stick it. So now we're going to bring in our border page. And one of the things that I like to do is use this as accent pieces. So what I want to do here is I want to make sure that when I put it in the trimmer, I'm getting some gold at the top as well as the bottom. So that is another way that I use these sheets. So you can look at this piece right here and you can see that I have a gold band going across the top as well as the bottom. This is what I'll be using on today's project. So it's 12 inches. I am going to cut 2 pieces at 6 inches. And you can see how pretty this already looks. But what I mean by accent pieces is when we take this piece and we put it right here in the middle, it just adds a little touch of elegance to this. So I'm going to take this piece and we're going to put it right there. Look at what that did to this. It just ties everything in, but it's just so simple but elegant. So I'm going to take some glue, place some glue on the top, place some glue in the middle, and then I'll use my finger to spread that glue just a little bit, because now we're going to take this and we're going to put it down like this. So now I'm going to take some more glue and we're going to put that second piece down. So I'm just putting glue and then I'll use my finger to spread some of the glue. And then we'll take this piece, we'll put it down right there. use my paper towel, get that nice and stuck. And y'all, this is just simple elegance. So I have already cut out this piece, and I'm going to put it on the front here. This time I'm going to put this piece on with some glue because it will be on the outside, and I don't want it coming undone. So let's flip over, take this piece and put it right here. Burnish that with my paper towel. And then I'll go back over it and get it stuck. Now if you want, you can close this with Velcro or a magnet, but what I want for this is for it to truly sit out. And I would probably put this in a box or a bag so that when the person getting it opens it, it just trifolds and they know exactly how to use it. On some of my little decorative buttons, I am going to take one, and I think I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to put it right there. And then I think I'll take one and just put it right there to sort of tie everything in together. I'm not putting anything right here just yet because I haven't decided what message I want to put there. And I'm not putting anything on the front just yet. I need to find the right thing to put on here. But y'all, I think that this is absolutely gorgeous, and I think it is a wonderful way to send a smile to someone or to give a smile to someone. So here we have it, y'all. We have the one that we just made. We have the one that I made in my Zoom class, and we have the one that I made as my original prototype. And I think that these are just absolutely gorgeous, 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 and a great way to use chipboard and some of your favorite papers. Easy peasy paper crafting we just did here, but look at what we ended up with. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So I hope that you do too. And I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, all day, every day, these are the things that we're doing. And I would love to have you subscribe. So please hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell so that you will know when I upload a new video. As always, my friends, please be safe, be kind, and be the reason someone smiles today. Happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.